What's a moment where you unintentionally made someone think you were a genius? So I used to work front desk at this mid-sized gym where the computers were ancient enough they probably ran on hamster wheels. One morning, the entire membership system crashes. Like, dead. Frozen. The manager is freaking out, trainers are hovering, customers are forming a line like we're selling Beyoncé tickets, not protein shakes. Our IT guy, Gary, was on vacation, and without him, the whole staff behaved like computers were magical glowing rectangles blessed upon us by the gods. I was the youngest by about 15 years, so naturally everyone assumed I understood technology because I once connected the Wi-Fi on a treadmill tablet. So I walk over to the broken system. The screen is black. People are whispering like I'm about to perform open heart surgery on the desk. I press the power button. Nothing. I look underneath and see the plug hanging halfway out of the socket. Not fully unplugged, but like 72% unplugged. Just enough to cause maximum chaos. So I push it in. The screen lights up. The system reboots. Behind me, a literal gasp travels through the staff like I just resurrected someone. One of the trainers goes, "Holy shit, he fixed it." Someone else whispers, "He's a genius, I told you." Meanwhile, I'm just standing there like I have done nothing. But it got worse. A member saw this and asked if I could look at his phone because it won't charge anymore. I swear on everything, I flipped his cable around and plugged it in the right way. It starts charging. He looks at me like I invented electricity. By lunchtime, the GM had emailed corporate bragging about our incredibly talented IT-capable staff member. They even asked if I wanted to help with tech responsibilities. I said no, because if my reign as the accidental tech messiah continued, eventually someone would discover the truth. I didn't fix the system. Gravity did. In 8th grade, math was my personal hell. I didn't just struggle. I failed beautifully like a swan dive straight into academic despair. My teacher, Mrs. Polk, had basically given up on me. I couldn't blame her. I once cried trying to figure out how to divide fractions. Then one day we had a surprise quiz. I stared at the paper, felt my soul leave my body, and just guessed I was too tired to even panic. I filled the whole thing in using this stupid pattern. I used to doodle with tic-tac-toe boards. A, B, C, C, B, A. Repeat, I turned it in expecting a 20%. Next day she calls me aside. She looks emotional. "You finally believed in yourself," she whispers. I'm like, she shows me the quiz. I got a 100% perfect score, the highest in the class. Apparently the test was mostly trick questions designed to see who was paying attention. My insane guessing pattern avoided every trap. Everyone else overthought it. Mrs. Polk starts tearing up and tells the class, "See, even the most unexpected minds shine when they trust their instincts." Everyone claps. I want to die on the spot because they all think I finally had my "a beautiful mind" breakthrough moment. For the rest of the year, she kept giving me harder and harder problems to nurture my talent. Spoiler, I failed gloriously. My streak of luck was over, but she treated me like some misunderstood genius who just had too much creativity for rigid numbers. I still haven't told her I guessed. She probably thinks I'm working at NASA by now. I was working at a bookstore when a woman walked in looking like she was moments away from a full breakdown. She rushed up to me gripping her purse like it contained the ashes of her ancestors and goes, You look intuitive. Can you help me?" I'm thinking she wants directions. She hands me a stack of books and says, "Which one should I buy? Whichever one you choose will tell me what to do about my marriage." I don't want to be involved in this lady's spiritual crisis, so I just point at the top book because it's closest to my hand. It's titled "Letting Go Gracefully." She stares at it like I just revealed the secrets of the universe. Her eyes fill with tears. I knew it. I knew someone would give me a sign today. Before I can say anything, she hugs me, hard, like ribs creaking hard. I'm frozen. She whispers, "Thank you, I'm going to do it tonight. You saved me." I'm like, what did I save you from? She leaves in a hurry. An hour later, she comes back with a bag of muffins and hands them to me like I've spiritually midwifed her into a new life. "You're gifted," she says. "Truly, you saw right through me." Ma'am, I literally just pointed. But the craziest part, My coworkers saw the whole thing, and from that day on, they treated me like the store oracle. They'd ask me which books would sell better if it would be a busy day, if someone was going to return something. One manager jokingly called me our in-house medium. People would come up and whisper, "Which book do you feel drawn to?" "Bro, I'm drawn to clocking out at 6. Okay, so I swear on everything I love that I did not do this on purpose. I'm not a genius. I'm not even genius adjacent. I'm the kind of guy who has to reread microwave instructions. But for one brief glorious period in 8th grade, my entire school became convinced that I was some kind of savant, prophet, prodigy, whatever, and I swear it happened because I tripped. So our math teacher, Mrs. Givens, had this thing called Problem of the Day. Usually it was something easy like, what's 20% of 50? But sometimes she'd toss in these monstrous SAT prep cryptic as hell riddles that probably came from the mind of a man who eats chalk for breakfast. This day was one of those days she writes on the board, a train leaves Chicago at 2:15 traveling 68 number 6. And I immediately check out because I see the word train, which to me means I'm mentally absent. But before she even finishes writing the rest, I lean forward to grab my pencil and instead, I knock my entire pencil bag off my desk. It hits the floor with the loudest possible boom noise like someone just dropped a bowling ball. Everyone looks at me. Out of reflex, I blurt, "Ugh, 3 112. I was just complaining like, "Ugh, 3 1 2. Pieces of crap just spilled everywhere." Because that's literally how many items fell out. 3 pens, 1 pencil, 2 highlighters. I was narrating my disaster. But Mrs. Givens just stops. She turns, stares at me, marker shaking slightly in her hand. "How did you get the answer already?" she whispers. The class turns to me like I just started levitating. I'm sitting there like, "What?" And she goes, 312 is correct. Now I'm sweating. I didn't even hear the full question. I'm scrambling to pick up my stuff while everyone is processing the phenomenon of me casually solving a train problem faster than the teacher could write it. And instead of telling the truth, aka, "Ma'am, I was counting my fallen trash like a raccoon," my brain panics and goes, "Ugh, I saw where it was going. Why did I say that? Why did I make myself sound like a time traveler? Why did I give myself mysterious prodigy energy? Now the whole class is staring like I'm a government experiment who slipped out of his tube. Then the rumor mill starts. Period 2. He predicted the train thing before the question was finished. Period 3. He's secretly gifted but hides it lunch. He solves problems in his head faster than a calculator. End of day. He's not in the gifted program because the tests can't measure his level. By the next morning, I'm getting asked things like, "Hey, what's the square root of 7921? Can you help me with my chemistry homework? Do you see the future?" I tried correcting them. I swear I did. Me, "Guys, it was an accident." Them, "He's so humble, oh my god. Great, fantastic, I'm accidentally Jesus of math," but it gets worse. 2 days later, the principal stops me in the hallway like he's discovered a rare Pokemon. "We've heard about you." Behind him are 3 teachers nodding like they're watching the birth of a star. He starts talking about advanced placement and special testing and honors track realignment, and I'm panicking so hard my soul is sweating. Me, "I think this is a misunderstanding." Him, "You don't need to be modest, bro." I am not modest. I am confessing, please. But at this point, the hype was too big. I had become the chosen one, a legend born from stationery hitting the floor. Now fast forward to the evaluation test. It was like walking into the Hunger Games, but with pencils. I sit down, open the booklet, immediately realize I am going to die. There is a question that literally starts with prove. No, stop. Stop right there. If the question says prove, I'm already defeated. Long story short, I scored so poorly, they thought I sabotaged the test because I was tired that day. They ended up retesting me twice because there must have been an error. After the 3rd try, I had to full-on confess like a man standing in front of a church congregation. "I'm not a genius." I dropped my pencil bag and said numbers. Silence. Then one of the teachers goes, "So the train answer was an accident?" "Yes." "Entirely?" "Yes." "You swear?" "Yes." Mrs. Givens looked so betrayed, you'd think I told her Santa wasn't real. They let me back into normal classes and I lived in exile for the rest of the year, except now everyone treated me like a fallen angel. Kids would whisper shit like, "That's him, the one who could have been great." My reputation became the almost prodigy. To this day, the moment someone drops something and numbers scatter, my friends go, "Careful, he might predict the stock market." So this happened back when I worked at a small pizza place, and I swear on everything holy I am not some hidden math prodigy. I barely passed Algebra 2. I cried during the quadratic formula test, but apparently my coworkers think I'm some kind of savant because of one stupid lucky moment that has followed me for years. It was a slow night and my manager, Ben, was complaining that he couldn't get the register to reconcile. He kept printing the little paper tape, scratching his head, sighing dramatically like someone who thinks accounting is personality. He kept muttering numbers like he was trying to summon a demon with arithmetic. I was standing nearby eating a garlic knot, as one does, half listening, half wondering if I could sneak a second knot without being judged. Ben finally goes, we're off by $37.14 and I don't know where the hell it came from. I don't know why my brain activated at that exact moment. Maybe sodium plus carbs unlocked a third eye. Maybe God put the number in my head. Maybe I subconsciously absorbed something. No idea. But I just said, probably the refund from table 6 minus the coupon override from earlier. He froze like I'd spoken ancient prophecy. The entire kitchen went dead silent. Ben blinked, then blinked again, then said, "8, how did you know that?" Meanwhile, I'm standing there like a raccoon caught in dim headlights because I genuinely didn't know what I just said. I had no memory of table 6. I didn't know we even had coupon overrides. I was literally guessing. Full guess, like tarot card reading, but with receipts. He checked the system. And it was exactly that, like down to the cents. He spun around and whispered to the line cooks, "She's gifted." Suddenly, everyone started treating me like I had eidetic memory. They'd ask me where random missing items were, where's the spare cheese grater, or how many wings we needed for a 37-person order, or how to fix the oven timers. I kept trying to tell them, guys, I swear this was a one-time glitch in my brain. But no, the myth grew. One cook legit asked if I was diagnosed with something cool. Another asked if I could do their taxes. Why would you trust me with taxes? Ben actually called me our beautiful little numbers witch for months. The peak? Corporate came one night for an audit. Ben introduced me like I was an X-Men character. This is her, the one with the gift. To this day, I have no idea why that guess was right, but I still get texts from old coworkers asking me to intuit their financial issues. I just want garlic knots, man. Please stop asking me to solve equations. I am not a therapist. Let me make that crystal clear, because what happened still haunts me. I worked at a bookstore cafeon of those soft-lit ones where people pretend to read Tolstoy, but are actually scrolling Instagram. One slow morning, I was wiping tables when this guy sits down with a stack of self-help books taller than my torso. He looks stressed. Not my latte is wrong, stressed more, like my soul is unraveling, stressed. He sighs dramatically and says to no one in particular, "I don't even know where to start." I didn't realize he was talking to me, so I, being an idiot, went, "Start with the chapter you're avoiding the most, that's usually where the truth is." He stared at me, stared like I had just recited a prophecy carved into an ancient temple. I realized too late that he thought I said something deep on purpose. He goes, "Wow, that's actually profound." I tried to walk away. He stopped me. He asked if I did sessions. "Sir, I brew coffee. I mop floors. The deepest thing I've ever done is cry during a dog movie." But this man, he starts talking about his marriage, his job, his mother-in-law, his crippling fear of failure, just unloading, like I'm Dr. Phil in a name tag and apron. I kept trying to escape. But every time I said something basic like, "Sounds like you're carrying a lot," he reacted like I'd hit him with a truth missile. At one point, he straight up whispered, "I think you're the first person who's ever actually understood me." Bro, I am literally scraping gum off a table. He leaves after an hour, thanking me for the breakthrough. 2 weeks later, he comes back smiling, glowing, energized, and tells me I filed for divorce. You were right, I needed to confront the chapter I kept avoiding. IWHAT. I stood there holding a broom like some stunned Disney side character, while this man tells me I inspired him to detonate his marriage. He hugged me. I froze. The broom squeaked against the floor. He walked out a free man, apparently. My manager. She thinks I'm secretly trained in counseling. She once introduced me to a coworker's boyfriend as our resident emotional genius. No, I am just a tired girl who misquotes Pinterest-level pseudo-wisdom when startled, but apparently that's enough to end marriages. So, this happened in college, and I swear on my GPA, what remained of it, that I did not mean for any of this to happen. The entire chain of events started because I was tired, irritated, and halfway caffeinated, and ended with people treating me like some kind of silicon-based oracle for an entire semester. It began in my dorm's common area, a place where electronics went to die. We had a communal printer that worked only when it felt emotionally stable, which was almost never. People would smack it, unplug it, beg it, threaten to transfer to another university, nothing helped. This thing had a grudge against humanity. One night, I walked in and found a crowd of freshmen huddled around it like doctors watching a failing patient. Papers, half-printed ink, smears everywhere, one kid literally praying over it. They'd been at it for 40 minutes trying to print their lab reports. Seeing this, I said in my most sleep-deprived deadpan voice, "Move. Let me commune with the ancient technology." They laughed, but they moved. I didn't have a plan. I just needed to print my own essay before the midnight deadline, and I was 2 seconds away from committing felonies. So I leaned in, stared the printer down, and no joke, said, "I know your pain, I too don't want to work today." Then I hit the top panel, not slapped, not punched, just a gentle, exhausted, fed-up dad tap, and the printer whirred to life, like fully came back from the dead. Paper shot out one after another like it was possessed. Someone gasped. Someone whispered, "Holy shit." One freshman said, Is he the chosen one?" I tried to play it cool, but inside I was thinking, oh no, this is going to become a thing, and it did. Incident number 2, the prophecy. 2 weeks later, a girl from the second floor stopped me on my way to class. "Hey printer guy, the lounge TV won't turn on. Can you work your magic?" I told her I did not have magic. She insisted, physically pulled me down the hallway. I stood in front of the TV. Everyone waited, so I said the first sarcastic thing that popped into my brain because I was running on 3 hours of sleep. "It demands tribute." A dude handed me the remote. I wiggled the batteries because the top was loose, pointed it at the TV, pressed power, and again by pure coincidence mixed with gravity, and the universe mocking me, the TV turned on immediately. Someone yelled, "He speaks to machines." Another person asked me to bless their laptop. Guys, I am not exaggerating. I became a campus legend for 3 months. Incident number 3, the iPad resurrection. The third event is where things spiraled into absolute chaos. A girl in my psychology class brought her iPad to me and said, "Everyone says you're the tech whisperer. Please save my notes. It won't turn on." I told her again, I have no special abilities. But she literally begged. So I took the iPad, said, "Rise, child of Apple." I held down the buttons. Now, side note, she had accidentally put the iPad into DFU mode. I had no idea what DFU mode even was. I just long pressed the buttons, because that's what you do when electronics misbehave. The screen flashed, showed the Apple logo, and came back from digital hell. The girl screamed. People in the hallway poked their heads in. She pointed at me like I'd descended from the heavens wearing a Genius Bar robe. He brought it back from the void. I wanted to crawl into a vent and live there forever, the title I never asked for. By mid-semester, people weren't calling me by my actual name anymore. They called me Printer Jesus, Tech Shaman, the Hardware Whisperer, USB Prophet East Hall's last IT guy. Standing there was even a rumor that I could fix electronics by touching them with my forehead. I never did that, but somehow the myth spread. Every time something turned on by coincidence, someone would gasp and whisper like I was performing miracles. Finally, one day, the RA, who was tired of student complaints, jokingly announced, "If your device breaks, put it on the sacrificial altaraca, the coffee table, and maybe the tech prophet will bless it." I had become a meme with legs. The fall of the prophet. The legend ended the day someone brought me their fried gaming laptop that smelled like burnt ramen, and regret I pressed the power button. Nothing, I tried a different outlet. Nothing, I whispered my usual sarcastic blessing, "Rise my child," and no work. Still nothing. The crowd looked disappointed, like I'd tragically lost my powers. One guy actually said, "The prophecy is broken." Another whispered, "We used him too much, we drained him." I had to stand there and explain, "No, it is just actually broken, like broken. The spell shattered. I was human again. But every now and then, someone from East Hall still messages me like, "Hey man, my fridge is making a weird noise. Can you talk to it?" And honestly, I kinda miss being the mysterious tech wizard they thought I was.